Hi everyone, I'm Miss Melanie and I'm a teacher at the Greater Valley YMCA, and today I'm going to teach you about the parts of a flower and also show you how to do a really easy flower craft. Okay, first we're going to talk about the parts of a flower. So at the top, this is the actual flower part and these are called the petals. So I'm going to write petals right here. And the petals help attract insects to the flower, and that's why they're usually so colorful and beautiful. And the other thing that's important about the flower is it makes the seeds that will grow into more flowers. Next, we're going to talk about this part. This is the stem. So I'm going to write stem right here. And the stem helps bring water up to the flower. So it's kind of like a straw. So it's like a long straw and it's bringing water up to the flower to give it some water. We need water too, right? The next part of the flower I'm going to talk about are these things. These are the leaves. I'm going to write leaves right here. The leaves help make food for the plant from the sun, and it brings it into the flower. So those are important too. And the last part of the flower we're going to talk about is this part down here. And this is actually underground. So if this is the ground, the roots are under the dirt. So that's why you don't usually see them when you see a flower. You just see the stem. But under the ground are where the roots are. So we're going to write roots right here. And the roots help hold the flower into the ground, and they also soak up water and nutrients and bring them to the flower. And that's where the straw part comes in, the stem. So we have the flower with the petals. These are the petals. And then we have the stem, and that's like the straw bringing up water to the flower. And then we have the leaves, and those are making food from the sun and bringing them to the flower. And we have the roots under the ground, and those are soaking up water, sending it up to the flower. So all the parts are important, and they're working together to help the flower grow. So the next thing we're going to do is make a flower project, and then you can talk about the parts of the flower on your own flower project. So for this project, I used some markers. You could also use paint or crayons, colored pencils, whatever you want to use to color your flower. And we're going to use paper plates. We need a scissor and some green paper or just any paper, and you can color it green. And I'm going to also use this stick so that my flower can stand up. You could use a popsicle stick, or this is like a skewer. But if you don't want to do that part, you don't need to. You can just have your flower lay flat or hang it up on something. So the first step in our project is we're going to take our plate and take a scissor. And if you're a kid, make sure you ask for mom and dad's help. You could probably do some of the cutting by yourself, but your mom or dad need to help you and make sure they're watching you when you're using scissors, right? So I'm going to cut a slit in the plate, and then I'm going to cut another piece so we can just take out a small triangle from the plate, and then it will look like that. And then you're just going to do the same thing all the way around. Just cut these little triangles out of your plate. And then your plate will look like this. And it's already starting to look like a flower. The next thing we're going to do is take our flower, and you can decorate it any way you want. So I'm going to color my petals yellow. Okay, so I colored mine with yellow petals and a brown middle. And remember, the middle is where the seeds are. and the petals are attracting the insects to the flower. So the next part of the flower that we need is the stem. And remember, that is like the straw that's bringing water up to the flower. So we are going to just cut out a stem. So I have some green construction paper, and remember, if you don't have construction paper, it's no big deal. You can just use a piece of paper and color it green. So we have a stem, and I'm going to glue it to the back. If you don't have glue, you could use tape, whatever you want to do. Need some tape too. So I'm going to just put some glue on the back of my flower and stick my stem right on. There we go. And what is missing from our flower? Leaves. We need some leaves on our flower. Okay, so I'm just going to cut out some leaves. And leaves are really easy to make. I think the easiest way is if we fold the piece of paper. Okay, if we fold a piece of paper like this, we can cut leaves out in a shape. And then you have a leaf like that, and it's about the same shape. There we go, just like that. Okay, and then we're just gonna glue or tape our leaves on. I think it's easier to do it onto the back, and then when you turn it over, they'll just be coming out of the stem. Okay, just like that. And the last thing you can do, if you want to, but you don't have to, is just, I'm gonna tape this stick on the back so that it could stand up. And you could use like a popsicle stick, you could use a paper towel tube if you want, anything like that that would help your flower stand up. But if you don't have anything, or if you don't want to do this part, it really doesn't matter. This is just so that it could stand up on its own. Okay, and there we have a beautiful flower. And you can talk about all the parts, and you can use this to remember the parts of the flower. So we have the petals right here that we colored so nicely. We have the stem and the leaves, and we didn't put roots on our flower, but the roots would be right here on the bottom, right? Like the roots on this flower right here. And that's it. I hope you had fun doing this project with me and you learned a little bit about flowers. Have fun!